Good morning. Thanks for joining. Even if we can just come to our mat every day, doesn't even have to be for movement, right? Just to settle, to drop out of that monkey mind. And somebody asked me this week, what's up with that monkey mind? And I said, a monkey mind came from the statement of watching a monkey leap from limb to limb to limb. And it's the same with the mind. The thoughts go from thoughts to thoughts to thoughts. But if we can come back and just sit, and if we can come back and just say, I know when I breathe in, I'm breathing in. And I know when I breathe out, I'm breathing out. And we shut out all that chatter, all that monkey mind, and we allow ourselves to go inward. And if I can teach anything, that's what I'd like to teach. So we'll prepare for this practice by starting on our backs. So any leg position that you want to take this morning, I'm going to be in cobbler pose, reclined Baddha Konasana, and I'm going to use the block at the top of my mat because I do feel a little more open in my hips today to bring my feet, the blade edge of my feet onto the block. A little bit of a deeper stretch through the hips. Otherwise, take the soles of the feet together flat on your mat, or constructive rest, feet wide, knees together, lots of room for the back. So whatever you need this morning, make sure again the head is supported if you are elevating the heart space so that your chin isn't jutting up and you're not over stretching your neck. Good. As you arrive, make yourself comfortable. Maybe allow one hand to rest at the belly and one at the heart. A moment to maybe squeeze the shoulder blades in together so that the tips of the shoulders fall away. Open the mouth, release the jaw, let the tongue soften. And as you close down the eyes, like you could visually just scan through the body to notice any areas that you might be clenching. So allow the fingers to open naturally. The knees, if you're in cobbler pose, to just find their own way, their own weight to stay. And we've talked a lot about the monkey mind. And again, I have a lot of new participants that come to yoga. And one asked me, what do you mean about that monkey mind? And I said, well, if you visualize a monkey swinging from tree branch to tree branch to tree branch, we compare it with our mind, where our thoughts go from one thought to another thought to another thought. Our monkey mind. So take a moment here and let the mind settle on watching the breath. Watch the breath come in through the nose. Watch the breath fill the chest, the ribs, the belly. And as you let the breath go, the belly, the ribs, the chest, all melt. So enjoy a couple breaths here on your own. Just welcoming yourself to the mat. Congratulating yourself for finding the time for you. And allow yourself to fully arrive. One more full deep breath in. And on the exhale, if your feet are wide, heel toe them to center. If you are in cobbler pose, gently bring the knees together. We'll all roll to one side. Remove whatever props that we're using underneath us. So we can come down, take that big stretch, fingers away from the toes. So here, feel into the whole front body, the side ribs, the underarms, all the way, fingers to toes. And then exhale all the air out as you draw the knees, the thighs into the belly. Let the tailbone roll up with you so you begin to open up the muscles in the low back. And then release that tailbone back down and maybe just take a rock side to side, one hip to the opposite hip. Just bringing some blood flow, some sensation into the back body. And then find yourself moving towards stillness. We'll hug the right knee in as we extend the left leg long. Lead with that heel. Both feet now are going to be flexed. Let that left heel hover just a couple inches off of the floor as you draw the right knee in towards that outer rib area. Again, squeeze through those shoulder blades so that the top of the shoulders come down to the mat. Release again the jaw and the face. As you squeeze in and you compress through the right side body, take in a full breath, scoop in the belly, and let that breath go as you lift up the shoulders and the head and draw them closer to that right knee. When you're ready for the inhale, release the shoulders and the head down, and let's switch sides. We'll extend the right leg long, both feet flexed. Let that right heel hover as you draw in the left knee. And again, we do this in a mindful way. So what I mean by that is with that right leg hovering, notice what it takes to hold the weight of that leg up. We're bringing our focus over to the left side body, but just notice what's happening in that right side. Draw in that left knee, squeeze it in, and then lift the shoulders, the head in towards that knee. So really compressing the body, let out all the air out here. And when you're ready for the inhale, lower the head and the shoulders down and switch sides. So your choice here, we're going to go alternating right and left. Your choice whether you want to bring the head and shoulders up or keep them up. This is your practice. Right knee comes into the chest, left leg hovers. Take in the curl if you're choosing that option, and then switch. Big breath in between, then exhale the air as you pull the knee in towards the chest. We'll take 4 more each side. Finishing up, both knees into the chest. Go ahead and plant the feet into that bridge position. Maybe you bring the arms down beside the body, palms down. You can feel the heels right behind the sit bone. I'm going to encourage you today to grab your block and place the block between the knees, going lengthwise from the knees into the inner thighs. So we're going to maintain a constant squeeze on that block as we flow into our bridge. So again, squeeze those shoulder blades underneath you. Tuck the chin in towards the throat so you have length in the neck. Take a moment to just tilt the pelvis slightly so that you feel that low back supported on the mat. Again, the block is there to squeeze the arms alongside the body. Scoop the belly in, and on the inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips, lift the arms float overhead, hips come up, squeeze the block, Weight in the top of the shoulders. Good. Exhale all the air out, the hips, the hands, the bottom of the exhale as you land. Let's take 4, nice and slow. Squeeze the block, inhale, lift up, lift the hips, send those fingertips away, and then slowly lower back down to your mat. 3 more on your own. Send it up. Big breath. And again, use that timing, exhaling the air, the hips, the hands, all at the same time. As you come down, take a moment, take a pause, feel again the spine support, feel again the hip points being supported on your mat. Take that block, bring your legs up into a tabletop position, flex through the feet. This time we're going to put that block between the legs from the knees going down to the inner calf. We're going to work into our side obliques. So take whatever arm position suits you this morning. Arms to the side, open up through the chest, arms in cactus or goalpost. Again, just to work into those shoulder opening. Good. We're going to squeeze that block. Take the inhale. And on the exhale, as you squeeze, send the knees over to the right. Inhale out. And all the air is out. Squeeze the block as you inhale and come back to center. Exhale all the air out as you roll those knees to the left. Squeeze the block as you bring it back up to center. And take 3 on each side. Again, flowing breath, inhaling up to center and exhaling all the air as you move side to side. Option to up this just a bit as you come to one side. You can squeeze that block and extend the legs out on a diagonal. Then draw the knees back in as you come back through center. So just something to play with. We'll take one more at each side. And then we'll return to that neutral position. This time, as we squeeze the block and we take it over to one side, we're going to hover for 2 full rounds of breath. So again, draw that belly in, feel the spine, maybe change the position of the arms. Big inhale here. And on the exhale to the right, any amount, squeeze the block, hold yourself in place. Now notice the whole upper body here. Yes, we're working into the side body, breathe in there. But the shoulders, the face, the arms, everything's in a very relaxed, no effort state. Squeeze the block and notice your breath. Big breath in here. Slow breath out, squeeze that block. One more. Big inhale. Stay for the exhale. Squeeze the block and return to center. Take a moment, just really level out those hips. Good, draw that belly back in. You feel the support for the spine. Big breath, then on the exhale, we're gonna hover to the left. Again, releasing any tension in the face. Don't arch through the spine. Keep the navel drawing in, almost like you could scoop the core just right underneath those floating ribs. Take a deep breath in. Squeeze the block as you exhale. Once more, big inhale. And squeeze the block as you exhale. And then we'll slowly bring our knees back up. Beautiful. Take that block, replace it to the top of the mat. Bring the feet wide here. Keep the right knee pointing towards the ceiling as you drop the left knee in towards the mat. Pick up the left knee, drop the right knee in towards the mat. Again, right knee comes up, pointing towards the ceiling. We're going to just drop the left knee in. Taking in a full breath. Maybe here, if you want to take it deeper, you pick up that right ankle, place it on top of the left thigh, and just let the weight of that leg deepen the stretch. Just an option. Notice your breath. That's your teacher. So if your breath is becoming a little more rapid, back it down just a bit. Take one more big breath here. If you have the ankle option, release that. Bring that left knee back up and drop the right knee back into the center of the mat, holding here. Again, a nice internal rotation through that right hip joint, stretching through that outer hip and along the outer thigh. And if you did so on the other side and you want to take that option of picking up the left ankle, placing it outside that right thigh this time, allow the weight to find its own level here. There's not any pushing, there's no forcing here. Just breathe in and breathe out. One more inhale. And one more exhale. If you're using the ankle option, release that. Bring both knees back up towards the ceiling. Level out the hips. Walk the feet in and draw the knees in towards the belly. Rest the hands lightly on top of the knees. We're just going to wash through both hip joints here. So knees come into the chest. Knees go right and left, making that big V shape. Then we're going to press those knees back to the back of the mat and then draw the knees back into center. So make big circles nice and slow, but at the same time, roll down onto that tailbone and back up the spine. And then reverse that. Making our way to a seat. So if you want to rock and roll, if your spine is warmed up enough to rock front to back, please take that option. Otherwise, just roll to one side. Find whatever support you might want to have underneath your sit bones just to kind of tilt the pelvis down. And we'll come into a comfortable seat. A seat with the right shin in front, please, this morning. And as you arrive here, again, tuck in that whole pelvis, just draw it in as you stack that spine nice and straight. I always like to talk about that invisible wall, right? Pick up those shoulders, bring them to the ears, roll them down the back so that they would be placed on that wall. The back of the head resting on that invisible wall, the hands resting lightly on your thighs. Release the shoulders down, elbows resting just loosely by the side body. Close down the eyes. And since we mentioned that monkey mind, how is yours this morning? What is it that you can set off to the side of your mat that you don't need to deal with right now? Any responsibilities, to-do lists? Set it over there. It'll be there when we finish this up. Hopefully you'll be in a better spot to be able to pick it up and handle it as you step off your mat into the day, right? Good. Take a big breath in, blink the eyes open. Let's interlace the palms on our lap. And again, as we interlace, we talk about mindfulness, right? So it's just not an interlace. It's actually squeezing through those finger joints, pulling them apart as you open the palms up to the ceiling, spreading the thumbs out away from the pinky fingers. So that's a very active pose all in itself. Drop that palms to your lap. Again, re-engage that belly, take a full deep breath in and draw those palms slowly up to the chest. As you exhale, we're going to press those palms forward to the top of the mat as we tuck in the chin, as we roll onto that tailbone and round through the spine. When you're ready for the inhale, we're going to lift the arms so the palms come up toward the ceiling, biceps maybe by the ear. Find the extension in the side body. Then release those hands nice and slow. Let them fall to the side. Bring them behind you as you interlace. Take that fist down and away from your body. Open up the front of the chest, the front of the shoulders. Let the head drop back just a bit. It's supported there in the upper trapezius, opening up the throat. Beautiful, nice and slow. We'll release. Bring it back. We'll interlace the opposite thumb on top. So we're just moving, shifting the fingers one over. It's a little awkward. Again, squeeze through those finger joints, pull them apart. Thumb and pinky finger far away. Rest the palms on the lap. Draw in the belly with the inhale, bring it up. Tuck it all as you round and push it out. All the air out. Inhale, fully draws those arms overhead, lots of space for the breath. And then again, slowly drop that down. Interlace behind, send the fist away, and open up the throat and the front of the shoulders. Beautiful. And then release. Bring the hands in front of you. Just take a shoulder roll, one direction and the other. And then planting your hands on the mat in front of you, let's walk it forward and find a seated forward fold. Keep the spine nice and long. Keep the neck right in line with the spine. As you walk the fingertips forward, draw the belly in nice and tight, and then press the palms into your mat so that you could set your hips back and begin to feel the length of the spine, again, from the tailbone through the middle of the shoulder blades, from the shoulders to the fingers. Deep breath in, belly draws in nice and tight. And then walk those fingers over to the right. So your chest is coming towards that right thigh. Extend those left fingers on a diagonal further than the right. Again, beginning to stretch from that left hip bone all the way through the fingers. Enjoy a nice full breath here. And as you exhale the breath, again, see where you can soften this. We're going to keep the torso on this side. Just walk the fingertips by that right knee. Left hand's going to hook behind the knee. We're going to bring the right fingertips behind us. Before you take the twist, press into those fingertips. Find that length first in the spine. Then just take a gentle twist over to the side. So drop that back shoulder, tuck in that belly, and from here, use your eye muscles. Use the optic muscles here to see how far back you can see behind you. Draw in a nice full deep breath. And we'll let that breath go. Back hand's going to reach up to the ceiling, again, finding length in the side body. And then we're going to take just a little side bend. So keep the hand hooked by the thigh and just draw the right arm overhead so that you're leaning to the left. Keep the elbow back. Keep the breath fluid. Now, if having the hand anchored outside that thigh just kind of restricts your movement, always the option to just hold on to the calves. Draw in a nice full deep breath. And then as you exhale the breath, the right hand's going to come down towards that left thigh. So you're crisscrossing at the elbows. Tuck the chin in. Let's find some room in the back of the neck. So we're not dumping the head. We're just actually, like you could just shove that chin right into the throat. Take in a full breath. Again, spine is long, belly's tucked. One more inhale. And exhale. Lift the hands off of the thighs. Again, keep that cross in the elbows. Find your eagle arms. So in your eagle arm position, maybe you double bind at the wrist. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just squeeze in the forearms. Or maybe you simply place the hands on opposite shoulders, right? Lift the elbows up so that they're at least shoulder height. If you have the hand grip, send it away from the face. As you draw in the breath and draw in the belly, lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Maybe the gaze goes with it. A nice opening through the back of the shoulder heads. And then exhale the air out as you begin to tuck and curl. So elbows coming in towards the ribs, the hands coming down towards the mat, the crown of the head falls. So here you have all this room between the shoulder blades. Take a deep breath into the back of the heart space and fill the back of the ribs. Big breath in and slow breath out. Once more, draw in the breath and let it go. And when you're ready for the big inhale, draw it in through the nose as the elbows and hands begin to lift back up to the ceiling, maybe a small arch in the spine. And then bring it back to neutral, shoulder height. Open up the arms, let them drop. Take a couple shoulder rolls one way and the other. And then change the crossing of your feet. So again, with that changing, reestablish your core, reestablish that pelvic floor being drawn up nice and tight. Good, spine stacked. We're going to place our hands now again right down on front of us in the mat and just begin that walk forward, seated forward fold. So again, with this crossing, you might be a little tighter in one hip, so you may not come down as far, and that's fine. You just notice the sensations. Good. As you continue to walk the fingertips forward, keep the spine nice and straight. Keep the neck right in line with the spine. Then press gently in through those palms, those fingertips, to send the hips back so that you begin to feel the space you're creating along the whole back body, the shoulders, the arms, and the fingers. Draw in a full deep breath. Tuck in that belly. See if there's any more room here to come forward. Soften with the exhale. Nice. Walk the fingertips now over to the left. Good. So the chest is coming towards that left thigh. Extend those right fingertips now off on a diagonal. Again, focusing on the stretch from the right hip to the right shoulder to the right fingers. And then soften where you can soften. Big breath. Let it go slow. We'll walk those fingertips now towards that left knee. Keep the torso pointing this way. The right hand's going to hook behind that left thigh, and the left fingertips are going to come behind you. Press into those fingertips to get that spine nice and tall. Good. And then as you stretch long, take the twist over to the left side. Big breath, soften the shoulders. And then again, we use the eyes to continue that movement to look behind us so that we're not twisting and cranking into our neck. Use those eye muscles. Big breath in. We'll leave the right hand hooked on that thigh as we draw the back arm up towards the ceiling. So we'll find the length first, and then we'll take that lateral bend over to the right. So anchoring through that left side, reach those fingertips right. Enjoy a nice breath into the left side body. Keep that elbow back. Maybe the head falls towards the shoulder there. Full deep breath. Let it go. Last time, reach with those fingers, inhaling. And on the exhale, we're going to bring the left hand over towards that right thigh. So now we're crisscross at the elbows. Again, drop that chin in towards the throat so we find some length in the back of the neck. Soften the shoulders. And when you're ready, we'll pick up the hands here. We'll move to those eagle arms again, whatever variation works for you. Lift the elbows so that they're at least the height of your shoulders. Really draw in your belly. And then take that inhale. Let's lift the fingertips up or the elbows up towards the ceiling. Maybe the gaze goes with it. And then as we exhale the air, just begin to tuck in and curl down. Elbows come in close to the body, the hands come down, the crown of the head comes down. And then from here, as you rock backs onto that sit bone, creating space in the spinal column, but breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. Use this as a big breath into the back of the lungs, the back of the ribs, the whole back body. One more inhale. And as you exhale all the air out, prepare to take a big breath in as you lift the elbows and the hands, and we'll set it up one more time, maybe a little arch in the spine. Beautiful. And then bring the hands back down to that neutral, open them up. Take again a couple circles of your choice. Release those shoulders. We're going to roll over the knees. We'll find our all fours. Spread those fingertips wide. Hips right over the knees. Again, scoop the belly in so there's no sag in the spine. And then just blow out all the air here so that when we take the inhale and we lift the tailbone and drop the belly, heart lifts, fill the body with breath. Feel the whole front body here. And then exhale the air, tailbone curls, spine curls, chin tucks, press in through those palms, let all that air go. Inhale now again, dropping that belly, but lifting the chest, lifting the tailbone. Find that extension here in the spine. Then round it in as you exhale all the air out. Couple more on your own. And just to wake up the whole body, we're going to do that modified little vinyasa flow. So we'll begin in a position of extended child's pose. I have my toes tucked under. So as I sink my hips back towards my heels, my belly rests on my thighs. I'm going to walk my fingertips as far forward again as I can, lowering my chest, lowering my shoulders and my forehead to the mat. Again, just enjoying that long stretch through the whole back body. And if you don't do this whole flow with me, you can do all of it, none of it, some of it. This is the place where we will meet. So always come back to your child's pose. As you're ready, taking in a deep breath, big inhale, bring yourself up to table. And as you exhale, continue that forward motion, dropping the hips any amount as you lift the heart, maybe straighten the arms. Good. Pressing back through those palms through table. We'll send it all back to that extended child's pose. Reach long. Use your breath now, inhaling, rounding up. And exhaling, coming forward, shine the heart. Exhale, press into the palms as you come back through table to your extended child's pose. One more time like this. Now see if you can make it fluid with your breath. So no stopping in motion or breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. I'm going to add on our down dog and our plank, but if this movement is waking up your body and it feels good, there's your answer as to what option you choose. As you're ready, nice deep breath in, bring it up. Send it forward. Open the chest. Bring it back through your table. Toes are tucked now, so let's lift the hips toward the ceiling and then press them back. Use your palms to send the palms away from you as you send those hips back. Then the knees come up onto the balls of the feet as you wave your spine forward, finding that plank pose. Press back into your palms as you come back to your dog pose. Then drop the knees gently and return to your child's pose. So that's the whole flow, as fast, as slow, with breath as you need. Ready? Inhaling, we come up. We draw it forward on the exhale. We bring it back and lift the hips. Find your dog pose. Come up on the balls of the feet and wave the spine forward for your plank pose. Send it back to the dog pose, lowering those heels any amount, and then drop the knees and take it back to your child's pose. Reach it long. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come forward. Beautiful. Coming back through your table, we'll lift the hips up to find the dog pose. Again, extend those legs, drop those heels. Wave it forward to your plank strong push-up. Send it back to your dog and drop the knees to your child's. Last one now. Use your breath. Big movement. Make it like a dramatic movement. And for some of us, it is this morning. Good. To plank and dog. And drop knees to child's. As you arrive in your child's pose, untuck the toes so you can flatten your feet. As you bring the hips back, just getting a nice stretch in the top of the feet, the front of the ankles. Continue to reach those fingertips long in front of you, getting the stretch. And then we're just going to release those forearms, let them rest on the mat, and just flip the palms open. So the palms are facing up. And just take a moment here to make a fist and draw the knuckles into the inside of the wrist. Get some of that stickiness out of our wrist. Open up the palms, reach the fingertips wide like a starfish, and then draw them back in and curl them in again towards the inner wrist. From here, bring the knuckles together like a fist bump. Pause there as you press the knuckles in together, getting a stretch on the outside of the wrist. Then send the knuckles away from each other to the sides of the mat as you squeeze the heel of the hand together. Then bring the thumbs towards the head. So just a different kind of a stretch. And then just like you were pouring water out of a pitcher, send the thumbs in the opposite direction. And then just roll through the wrist here. One way and the other. Open the fingers wide and then draw them back in. Last time, big wide fingers and then make a fist. Nice. Plant the palms back down on the mat. Send the arms out to a T position. So the body is resting on the thighs, right? Bring the forehead down to the mat. So taking this nice wide stance with our arms, slide the left hand into a push-up position, kind of by the face, just outside of the body. Good. Slide the right fingertips as far to the right as you can. Turn your head to the left and just a little movement. Just drop that right shoulder down towards that right knee. It's a little movement, but it's a big one. Forehead comes back to center. Slide the right hand in as you extend the left arm out to the side. Again, the same movement. This time the head will rotate to the right as we kind of drop that left shoulder in. Take a breath. Forehead back to center. Slide the left hand in. Slide the right arm out. Same thing. Rotate the head to the left. Drop that shoulder in like you could touch the top of your knee with that inner shoulder. Last time, right arm in, left arm out. Rotate the head to the right as you reach those left fingertips out to the side. Drop that left shoulder tip in. One final breath. Forehead comes back to center. Take both arms now beside the body. Maybe hold on to the heels or just let the arms rest beside the body, palms up. Use this opportunity. Let those shoulder heads droop. Droop. Yeah, chest. I hate to use the word droop and collapse, but I want no effort. I just want those shoulders to be so happy that they just get to just fall down. Again, back body breathing, right? Breathe into the back of the lungs. As you release the breath, release the body. Let it be heavy on the legs. Nothing to hold up here. And then we'll slide those hands right underneath the shoulders. Lift the torso up, tuck the toes, and find your forward fold at the back of your mat. So here in your forward fold, option to cup your elbows. So you're using the weight of those elbows to bring natural traction to the spine. Notice if you're trying to hold your head up, can you release the head and just let it dangle down, finding some length in the neck? Maybe you sway one side and the other. The knees can be bent, the ribs resting on the thighs. But notice if you go to bend one leg and then the other straightens. It's waking up the back of the legs here. And then releasing the fingertips to the mat. We'll deepen the stretch through the hamstring by picking up that right foot, dropping it behind the left, like you could bring the two pinky toes together. You don't have to, right? The front knee is bent, but we're going to try and maintain some length in the back. Again, let the body fall forward over the legs. Notice what happens if you bring the weight from the ball of the foot to the heel, how that might deepen the stretch where that hamstring attaches. Take a nice full breath. Upper body is effortless. Just enjoy the stretch into the back of the leg. We'll release that. We'll bring that right foot back and we'll swap sides by picking up the left foot, bringing it behind the right. Again, now the right knee's bent as we straighten through the left. Body hangs, head hangs. Breathing into, again, the stretch that you feel in the back of the left leg. Let the upper body hang. And maybe again, experiment with bringing weight into the heel or to the balls of the foot. Notice how that might change. And then we'll release that. Left foot comes back. Good. Last time. Arms dangle down to the mat. And then we're going to look forward. We're going to walk those hands out. We're going to come back to that down dog position. Good. So the feet are hip distance apart. The hands we press into the mat and forward so we get the weight out of our wrists. That also allows that chest to come in closer to the thighs. We drop the head like you were trying to see your navel. And then maybe together, both heels drop closer to the mat. And we find some stillness here in our dog, scooping in our belly, but at the same time, pressing those hands away, hips high and back. Notice now, do you feel it in the upper body? Do you feel it in the legs? It's all sensation, it's all information, right? One more breath. Let it go. And then bend the knees, come up onto the balls of the feet. And as we walk forward this time, let's do it with a little style. So we're going to take that left foot over towards the right side of the mat. Then we're going to swing the right foot over to the left side of the mat as we make our way to the top. So just getting some movement again through the hips, but taking our time to reach the top of the mat and to find that fold. This time, bring the forearms behind the calves, hold on to the back of the ankle, and draw the chest in close to the thighs as you drop the head. A deeper forward fold, but you're able to keep your knees bent any amount. Take in a full breath. Moving to that halfway lift, we'll bring the hands around to the ankles or the fingertips onto the mat, however you choose. If you're using the shins, press into the shins gently so that your chest comes forward. You have a nice flat spine. Squeeze the shoulder blades together so they draw away from the neck. And use your breath here. Big breath in. And then release the breath. Release the body as you fold. Two more on your own now. Get nice and long. Halfway lift. Heart shines forward, but gaze is straight down. And then release and fold. And the last time. Nice L shape here. And then forward fold. Head hands. Bring the hands again to the back of the legs. We're going to slide those hands up the back of the legs as we roll our way up to a stand. The arms will reach out. The arms will reach up. Good. Extend yourself up. Maybe enjoy a little bit of a back bend. And then bring your hands to your hearts. As you close down your eyes for a moment here, feel into your feet. Lift the toes, spread them wide, and drop them mindfully, one at a time, to the mat. Shift the weight subtly from the balls of the feet to the heels to the balls of the feet. From the blade edge to the inner arch. Shoulders soft, face soft. Just feeling into your connection with the earth, to your mat, to this practice. Find that equal distribution of weight. And as you draw a deep breath in, let the breath go out the mouth. Blink the eyes open, reach those arms overhead, extend way up, and then swan dive, straight spine all the way down for a fold. For that half lift on the inhale, and for the fold. And bring your hands to your hip crease, nice straight spine, bend the knees as much as you need to bring yourself right back up. Arms reach out, arms reach up. Maybe again the back bend, and then we'll swan dive all the way down to find that inhale, half lift, to exhale, to fold. Hands to the hip crease, tuck in that belly, big breath in as you straight spine come up, reverse swan, arms come up, palms reach together, maybe the back bend. And again, last time, swan dive forward. Halfway lift and fold. And as you fold, hold here. Plant the hands down in front of you or to blocks. We'll take that left foot and send it back so that we're in a runner's lunge. The hands frame the front foot to the front knee over the front ankle. Sink the hips down, but find a nice long spine, chest extending forward. Drop down into the pelvis so you feel a nice stretch into the hip flexor. And maybe Just shift back and forth on that back ball of the foot, sending that heel back and forth. Again, working the sole of the foot, the ankle, and the Achilles. Good. Come back to a nice still runner's lunge. Again, spine nice and long. Draw the belly in. Inhale. And on the exhale, drop the back knee, untuck the back toe, and let's climb onto that right thigh, interlace. Send the thigh away from you as you come out of this lunge to just again reestablish level hips, and then come forward any amount. So here again, bring the focus right into the left psoas, spine straight, shoulders are soft. Take in a full breath, and if it serves you, maybe lifting those arms up overhead. Circle those arms down. Beautiful. Bring both hands inside that foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. You're back into that runner's lunge, and take a walk to the long edge of your mat. And as you arrive here, just check the toes are in, the heels are out, the spine is nice and long. Big breath in and just take a fold. Hands just rest lightly on the mat under the shoulders, crown of the head down. Again, that nice natural traction. Here again, shift the weight into the balls of the feet, shift the weight into the heels. Then balance it out inside and outside the foot. Big breath. And as you exhale, walk those hands forward, just like I'm holding your hips in place. They're not going to move, but just like your best friends taking your fingers and saying, come on with me, come on, come on. Draw them as far forward as you can so that, again, the chest begins to lower and you find that room underneath the soft tissue of the arms. Take in a full breath. Let it go. Walk those hands back underneath the shoulders, flip those fingertips around so now they're pointing away from you, and walk those fingertips back behind you as you draw the crown of the head down. So keep walking those fingers as far back as you can. Different kind of stretch through the shoulder. Take the full breath. And then we'll walk those hands right back underneath the shoulder. Press yourself up to that half lift, nice straight spine. Gaze towards that left foot because we're going to take a walk to the back of the mat. Pivot the feet around so that you're in a runner's lunge. Good. Right leg extending back. Sink the hips down. Press into the mat or the block so you have a nice straight spine. Chest is lifted. Good. Take a moment, do that little rock through the ball of the foot. Good, and then we'll find some stillness here. Take a full breath in. Get nice and long. Feel that inner psoas on the right side, and then drop that right knee down and untuck the right toes. Take a full breath, draw the belly in and climb the hands onto the left thigh. Interlace, press that thigh away from you as you come up. Level out those hips, find length and draw that belly in, and then sink forward here, any amount. Again, to the point of sensation of just finding some length in the right inner thigh, the right psoas. Full breath. Maybe the arms reach up. Circle the hands down inside the foot. Tuck the toes, lift the back knee, back to that runner's lunge. Good. We're going to take a walk again to the long edge of the mat. Toes in, heels out, forward fold. Walk the hands over toward that right foot. left hand's going to either hold the calf or the ankle. Bring the right hand to the sacrum first. So first you'll notice that the hips, the sacrum's nice and level. Good. As you anchor that left hand, rotate the chest towards the thigh and lift the right arm to the ceiling. Drop that left elbow down. Slowly release, right arm comes down, both fingertips to center. Find that halfway lift, nice and long spine. And then we'll walk it over to the left so that the right hand's going to reach for the outside of the ankle or the calf. Hold there. Bring the left hand to the sacrum. Drop that right elbow down. Draw the chest into the thigh and maybe lift the left arm up. Rotate the chest, reach through the fingers. Notice your breath. Slowly we'll float the left hand down. Walk yourself back to center here. Beautiful. Press up into that half lift. And then walk yourself towards the top of the mat. So again, now runner's lunge, top of the mat, right knee forward, left leg long, press that heel away from you in the back leg, get nice and long in the front. Taking in a full breath here, begin to straighten that front leg, keep the spine long, think heart to toes here. Again, nice stretch through the back of the leg. Bring it back into your runner's lunge. And then inhale, draw the belly in, straighten that front leg. We're going to do this twice more. Good. Finishing up, hold your pyramid on this last one. Nice straight leg. Bring that back heel up as high as you can. Then lift those front toes up as high as you can. Draw the belly in. Notice your breath. Big breath in. Slow breath out. And drop those front toes. Bring both hands inside that right foot. Let's take a little walk, pivot the feet. We're coming back to that long edge on your mat. Drop the body down into a fold. Find your half lift. Let it go as you fold forward. Bring the hands to the hips. Rise up. Good. Take the right foot towards the front of the mat. Take a bend into that right knee. Back foot slightly parallel, slightly in from parallel. We're finding our warrior two here. So as you bend into the right knee, traveling over that second or third toe, sink it down. Hips, chest facing the long edge of your mat. Release the arms to the front and the back. Soften the shoulders, draw in your core here. Soft face. Flip the palm, straighten that front leg, find your peaceful reverse warrior. Nice and long from the toes to the fingertips. Stretch it back. Rebend into the front knee as you find your warrior two. And then we'll extend side angle. So forearm to the thigh, reach the fingertips overhead, open the chest, press through that left heel, reach through those left fingers, open the chest, open the pelvis here. And then return, warrior two. Nice. Hands find the waist, pivot the feet around, take a forward fold. Let it go. And a lift. And a fold. Take a walk to the back of your mat. Beautiful. Finding again your runner's lunge. Sinking the hips down. On your inhale, begin to straighten into that front leg as you keep the back straight and extend that spine forward. Then bend back into the knee runner's lunge. We're going to do this 3 times. So straighten that front leg. Send the heart forward as you keep a straight spine. Maybe the ribs find the thigh. And then rebend into that knee. Inhale, we straighten, lengthen the spine, lengthen that front leg, back heels high. Runner's lunge, sink it down. Last time, we're going to hold this pyramid. Take in the breath, draw in the belly, lift the front toes. More intense here. Find your breath. Let it go. Spine nice and long. Then drop those toes down. Hands come right inside the foot. Walk it around. You got it. Forward fold on the long edge of your mat. Halfway lift, get long. Drop it back down to your fold. Bring your hands to the hips. Flat back, keep the knees bent a bit. Bring yourself up. Warrior 2, second side. This time, left foot's gonna find that front of the mat. Back foot is slightly parallel or a little in, whatever's comfortable in your hips. Take a bend into the left knee. Watch that it doesn't sickle in. Hold it around that second toe. Sink down into the pelvis. Take in a full breath as you draw in the core. Extend the arms. Full breath as you soften through the shoulders, soften through the face. Big breath in. And as we find that peaceful warrior here, flip that front palm, straighten that front knee, send that arm up to the ceiling and back. So here we're going to reach through that bottom foot all the way through the body, the side body, the shoulders to the fingers. Big breath. Come back to your 2. Sink it lower. Soften upper body. Side angle, forearm lightly on the thigh. Right arm lifts to the ceiling. Right arm extends overhead, bicep by the ear. Extended side angle here. Press through that bottom heel. Reach through those right fingers. Find the breath right into the side body here and keep the hips open. Use that forearm to help you guide that knee back. Big breath. Return to your warrior 2 on the next inhale. Sink it down. Then bring the hands to the hips. Straighten that left leg. Again, come to the long edge of your mat. Heel toe the feet in. Now toes out, heels in. Take a little swagger with the hips just to release those. Good. Hands can stay at the waist. Hands can come to prayer. Set the hips back. Find your squat. So again, straight spine, maybe the elbows rest on the thighs as you come down. If Fomalasana is your practice, please take it. So bringing the pelvis down. Again, support the heels. Use your bolster, use your blanket. Draw the elbows inside the knees and bring the thumbs right to the sternum. Take the full breath and let it go. One more inhale and exhale. Your digestive organs are going to thank you. Good. Slowly, we'll drop back onto our seat. Extend the legs out in front of us. Just give them a shake here. We're going to make our way onto the back body. So adjust yourself on your mat. Draw the knees in with you to the chest. Again, a nice squeeze here. A nice rock side to side. And then as you slowly slow it down, hug it in one more time. We'll release that right leg to the right corner of the mat. Allow the foot to just open left to the left. Good. If you're using any support under the knees, slide it under there. Your low back will thank you. If you have a blanket or a sandbag, just to rest at that point between the hip points, more grounding into the hips. Squeeze those shoulder blades underneath you. Tuck the chin into the throat. Allow the arms to extend out to the side, palms up. That gesture to receive. And here, as you take the deep breath in and the slow breath out, notice that monkey mind now. And my hope and prayer for each of us is that we take this peaceful feeling, this breath that we know calms us and calms and stops the monkey mind, that we're able to take that with us off of our mat and into our day. Not only benefiting us, but every life we touch. Please turn your device off. Linger as long as you're able. I went a little over today, so let the body melt here. You gave this gift to yourself. Enjoy just the next few moments.